Welcome everybody, I'm Cindy Paddington, the Seroptimist International of the Tri-Cities, and tonight is our Give Her Wings Awards Gala, where we honor all our award winners who have overcome diversity and are bettering themselves. We're giving out over $18,000 in educational grants for them, and we're just all so excited. This is our first time back in 2 years, so it's so nice to see people in person.
Are we ready to get started? Excellent, good. So please, will you rise for her honor, the Honorable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia. I respectfully acknowledge that we are gathered on the unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nations people and within the shared traditional territories of the Tsleil-Waututh, Katzie, Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Solo nations. To begin the evening, I would like to invite Ambassador Elder Marie Hooper from the Coquitlam First Nations to say a few words. You may be seated. Thank you.
Welcome, Lieutenant Governor Janet Austin, Mayor Brad West, council members, ladies and gentlemen, and our Chief of Coquitlam, Ed Hall. Indian Act, disrespected, ignored, undermined role of women. Residential school system linked significant contributor to vulnerability of Indigenous girls and women. Women's superiority maintained the village. Resides real authority of lands, fields, harvests, soul of the councils, arbiter of peace. Children under their authority, descent, wealth, power, inheritance passed down. Women, girls living the tradition at Coquitlam of our ancestors, reclaiming tradition of female leadership. Indigenous girls and women had been silenced. Today's contemporary Indigenous women show public how to rethink, reframe, incorporate voices of Indigenous girls and women. At Coquitlam First Nations, we guide, mentor our girls and women to follow their dreams and use their voice for the good. Back then, at least 300 years ago, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother, living on Coquitlam lands and territories, would teach hunting, fishing, drum making, masks, canoe building, berry picking, vegetable gardens, medicinal plants, and harvesting, weaving of rugs, blankets, clothing, cedar baskets, making to sell or trade for food, shoes, clothing, coats, bedding, etc. Native sweaters, hats, gloves, socks made, also used for trading. Arts, painting, jewelry, beaded, traded deer skins, other animal skins, and some of the women went working at the fish cannery. I'd like to speak about my mother. She went on a long journey in 1946. Indian agent came and said my mother had to leave the reserve, and so did all her 12 brothers and sisters and anybody that lived in the home. My grandfather had got injured by mentally, I don't like using that word mentally, but an ill person attacked him with a baseball bat. So he ended up in Essendale. My grandmother had to go on income assistance. So the Indian agent came and said, you all have to leave. So they all came off the reserve. My mummy met an Englishman at a dance, and they decided to get married. And she was going to make the long journey, the first woman of Coquitlam to leave Canada and go to England. Her brother said to her, Teresa, you're going a long ways away from home. And my mummy said, where is home? Well, where is home? We're not wanted on reserve, and we're not wanted off reserve. So he said, in saying that, good luck to you. So my mummy learned a trade, fancy box making, in England. Her mother-in-law said to her, you're not allowed to go out to work. You're not allowed to get a trade or career. And my mom looked at her and she said, I've been working since I was 14 years old. Nobody is going to tell me I cannot get training and I cannot go out to work. And so she did. She trained in a factory, fancy box making. Then returned to Canada 21 years later. So in 1967, my brother and I and my dad immigrated. My mom was coming home. 30 years, Mom worked for Macmillan Bodell, later named Belkin's Pulp and Paper. Owned a farm in Carameus. She was very successful. Mummy had injuries to her leg. She never looked at herself as disabled. Mummy passed down to me, my daughters, my granddaughters, nieces, great-nieces, great-granddaughters, all Coquitlam members, my family are. Education is important. Learn a trade, go to college, university, plan a career. You're never too old to learn. But start young, listen and learn. Our Coquitlam girls, women, can be successful out in the modern world. Canada is making an effort to value us. Decolonization, reconciliation. It's going to work. Going to SFU, our girls and women, myself even, taking up Indigenous studies so that we never forget our teachings, our culture. Let it guide us, revitalizing our language, our culture, and never, my mummy always said, never forget, be proud of who you are. And my mummy is 96 years old.
Thank you so much, Emily. And now, please, I would like to invite Her Honor, the Honorable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, on stage to share some words with us now. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Lots of stuff up here. Thank you, and thank you all so much for inviting me to join you tonight. This is absolutely fabulous. I've been looking forward to this, and I couldn't be more delighted to be here. I too would like to acknowledge the Coast Salish peoples, and notably the Coquitlam, as well as to acknowledge the shared traditional territory of the Tsleil-Waututh, Katzie, Musqueam, Squamish, and Stolo nations. We owe them thanks for sharing these lands in peace and friendship. So I will say, it's quite chill, actually. That for a sec. There's a little bit too much paper up here. So I will say, it's quite chill, Stelacha, Iquanis Kunanga Ela, which in my badly pronounced Sinchasan means, good day, dear friends. It's wonderful to be among you today. And I do mean that so very sincerely. I'd also like to thank Elder Marie Hooper for a lovely story, sharing the story of your mother's perseverance. And I know we will soon hear from Chief Ed Hall as well, and I look forward to that very much indeed. But we thank you for your kind welcome. I do want to make a brief comment about the practice of land acknowledgement, because I think it's very important. And I'm really pleased to see that it's being so broadly adopted here in British Columbia. But it's also important that we make it more than just pro forma. That we take the opportunity to reflect on what it really means, to think about the harms of colonialism and the damage done to Indigenous peoples and the healing that is needed here in Canada. So I will share with you that I myself am a 7th generation Canadian. My ancestors came to Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, during the Scottish clearances when their lands were taken away by the aristocracy, and I suspect that's something I have in common with a number of you. But my ancestors enjoyed a great deal of success here in Canada, and that is success that I have subsequently benefited from. And so I also recognize that that success has come at the expense of Indigenous peoples. And so for that reason, and also because I hold the enormous privilege of serving as Lieutenant Governor, I feel a deep responsibility to use my platform and my voice to be a vocal and a visible advocate for reconciliation in all its dimensions. Aishka. I also want to thank Superintendent Navjeet Hoti of the RCMP, who joins me today as my honorary aide-de-camp. It's always such a pleasure to work with you, Nav, and it's a particular pleasure tonight because she is one of you. She is part of the Seroptimist organization. And I saw those pictures of you in the walk a mile in her shoes, and I'm sure she was largely responsible for getting all of those uniformed service members to put on those red high heels. And did they really go a whole mile?
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right, okay, they get credit for that, that's for sure. I do want to say that yours is an organization that I greatly admire and have long admired. You've done a tremendous amount of good in this community, but you're also part of a respected global movement that has worked really tirelessly for more than 100 years to advance gender equality here in Canada, but also around the world. While it's true, I think that Canadian women enjoy a measure of legal equality that is not shared by most of the women in most of the countries around the world. But any brief perusal of the current statistics will tell you that socially and culturally, we still have a ways to go. I want to say that the issues that you have chosen to champion are my issues, and they have been a large part of both my professional and my personal life, really for my whole life. And so I want to thank you for your practical advocacy and for the meaningful support that you provide on issues like violence against women, helping to address child poverty, providing early learning and care, and for all the work that you do, that you raise your voices in support of advancing equality in the workplace, in public life, and also in the home. I also share your view that access to education is fundamental to that drive for personal and economic independence, and I honor your ongoing focus on supporting women's education through the awards that we present and celebrate tonight. I'd also like to comment that for any discussion of women's equality in the current context, I think it's important to reflect on our evolving understanding of gender. Now, this is a particularly important topic these days because we no longer think of gender as a binary with only two genders, male and female, men and women, but rather as a continuum that is rich in variation and diversity. This is a good thing because it acknowledges and includes those who do not see themselves reflected in the traditional cultural norms prescribed for people. The practice of sharing pronouns, for example, in minor she and hers, is a thoughtful and a generous action. It ensures that people are included and valued for who they are, and it also helps to avoid assumptions about a person's gender that may be hurtful or offensive. However, I think it's also valuable to remember that we must not lose sight of the fact that much work remains to be done towards addressing the challenges that women continue to face. The shocking rates of violence against women, sexual harassment and exploitation, the imbalance of unpaid care, and leadership in public life and in the economy. These challenges are true really for all marginalized people as well. The question of how traditional women-serving organizations like this one position and frame their work in light of our shifting understanding of gender is an important one. And it seems to me that we must all find a balance that both reflects the importance of inclusion, but also recognizes and honors the history of feminist action and the work that remains to be done. This, I think, is a complex and it's a nuanced discussion that will evolve over time with goodwill and respectful discussion grounded in a shared commitment to creating that truly equal society that we all desire and work for. Now, I thought I would end my comments to you today by having a little fun with one of my favorite words, which is the F word, which of course is feminist, and sharing my 3 favorite definitions of a feminist. The first is Timothy Leary: women who seek to be equal with men lack ambition. Okay. You want to think about that though, because the starting point there is that we don't think we're equal, right? We don't think we're equal. So, I mean, it's humorous, but there's something a little deeper about that one. The second one is Rebecca West. I think this was written about the 1930s. I don't know what a feminist is, but I do know that people accuse me of being one when I express sentiments that distinguish me from a doormat. And the third, my absolute favorite, is from 1910, the Oxford Athenaeum. A feminist is any woman who has the courage within herself to fight her way to independence. And who could possibly argue with that? So it is that drive to independence, autonomy, and self-determination that is at the heart of any discussion of feminism, and it's also what we celebrate today. Ultimately, it's simple. If you believe in equality, you're a feminist. Finally, I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all the award recipients and to wish you every possible success and happiness in the time ahead. And thanks as well to the members of Seroptimist International of the Tri-Cities for your truly, truly splendid work and for making this community better for all its citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have your honor here with us tonight. Thank you again. Now to talking about our award winners, the phenomenal group of women who are the reason why we are here tonight. Women who have overcome adversity, women who are working hard to better themselves, and in turn better the lives of everybody around them. They are the reason we are here tonight, and we're going to talk about them in a little while, introduce you to them, and tell you their stories. The award winners are the reason why we are here tonight, but without our sponsors, we wouldn't have awards to give them. So thank you to our sponsors, Town Line and TL Housing, Tracy Price Wealth Management, Encompass Dwell Properties, the list goes on. All of this tonight would not be possible without our community partners, our sponsors, and everybody in here who bought a ticket and who's bidding on things and buying 50-50. Thank you so much. Without you, none of this is possible. Also, without you, I'd still be in my pajamas tonight. This is actually our first in-person event in 2 years, and it feels really good. Do you agree? It's a star-studded event. Don't worry, I don't get starstruck very much, so I'm okay. I would happily point out to you some of our honored guests tonight. If you can give us a little wave when I say your name, and we'll just hold the applause to the end and make it a really good one. We are incredibly grateful for you to be here tonight. So in addition to Her Honor, the Honorable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, and Ambassador Elder Marie Hooper, who you've already met, we are also honored to have Chief Ed Hall of the Coquitlam First Nation here tonight. Hello. You gotta help yourself. I know, he is applause-worthy. Everybody is, but hold it to the end, okay? So from the province of British Columbia, we have the Honorable Selena Robinson, Minister of Finance and MLA for Coquitlam-Millarville. It won't be the only thing I say wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, from the city of Port Coquitlam, we have councillors Nancy McCurra, a member also of Tri-City Seroptimists. We have Glenn Pollock and Daryl Penner. From the city of Coquitlam, we have councillors Terry Towner and Steve Kim. Thank you for being here. From the city of Port Moody, my hometown, councillors Amy Lubick and Zoe Royale. Seroptimist dignitaries tonight are Sharon Fisher, the immediate past president, Seroptimist International, and Shari Grant, Governor-elect of Seroptimist Western Canada region, a proud member of the Seroptimists of the Tri-Cities, and my friend. If you could all stand now, take a bow. You already did that, so I don't know, disregard. Oh, Port Coquitlam, Brad West! It was all for good reason. Okay, and now I would like to invite our president, Colleen Penrally, to come up to the podium. Good evening, Colleen.
Thank you, Sadie, and welcome everyone. I'm delighted we're able to host this event in person to celebrate again with the members of our very supportive community. Just look at all those auction items over by the window. Almost all donated by generous people here in the Tri-Cities. As Sadie has mentioned, the money we raise at this event and from our 50-50 draw will be used to fund next year's awards and our other programs for women and girls. As Seroptimist members, we are part of a global organization of women, as Her Honor mentioned, working to improve the lives of women and girls with clubs in over 120 countries. This Give Her Wings event would not be possible without many, many hours of planning and organizing by the members of this club and ably led by our awards chair, Cindy Paddington. Now, my speech has disappeared. Technology isn't always that wonderful. I just want to say, if anyone here is interested to become a member of this organization, we always welcome new members. So, thank you very much and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, President Colleen. And now we have a special message from our Seroptimist Governor of Western Canada, Suzanne Herron, who could not be here tonight, but she has asked Shari Grant, Governor-elect, to speak for her. So come on up, Shari, and share that message from Governor Suzanne.
Thanks so much, Sadie. So before I get going, I just want to preface this by saying that Governor Suzanne wrote this message with the Live Your Dream winners in mind, because the Live Your Dream Award is a federation award that's given across Seroptimus International the Americas, but these words stand for all of our winners tonight. So, you women receiving a Live Your Dream Award this evening, you are the strongest women in this room. You have overcome challenges many of us here can only imagine. You are not content with the cards you have been dealt, and you are demanding a winning hand and turning over every card to find it. You continue to demonstrate the grit and determination to succeed, to be the best that you can be, to propel you and your families into lives of your own choosing. My husband and I make our home on Muscogee Island. When we first arrived and put up a tent in a tiny building, we met friends who often had us over for supper, and I became anxious about the imbalance in giving. When my friend Kay said, "Your job right now is to accept everything that is coming to you with grace." So I stopped worrying about paying them back in some way, and just had saunas and picked kale from their garden. I want to assure you that your job right now is to accept with the grace which you display so profoundly, accept these awards, which are truly modest in comparison with the tenacity and talent and depth of will that you have given yourself. And know that you are paying back the Seroptimists who are so very proud and pleased to present these awards by giving us the opportunity to know you, to play a small part in your journey, and to cheer you on as you tick off your goals and live your dreams. Seroptimists give Live Your Dream Awards because education is the fastest track to economic freedom and gender equality. As long as one of us is unequal, we all are. So on behalf of Seroptimist Western Canada region, thank you for the example you set in dreaming and in living your dreams.
Thank you, Shari. So, like I said before, this is a major event for us tonight. It's the first time we've been able to do this in 2 years, and this event is really special to us. But that is obviously not the hardest part of the last few years. It's been hard for all of us. We've missed seeing everybody in person. It's been hard on the community as a whole, and so we have to recognize that the sponsors and you being here, it means a lot more, because we know it's hard for you, and so it's hard for us, but you're still helping us, so thank you. This year, we're pleased to have Town Line and TL Housing again as our marquee sponsor. This is the 5th consecutive year that they've been sponsoring our organization and sponsoring programs, but not only that, they have donated a $5,000 donation to our first prize winner. We have other visionary sponsors, Tracy Price, Wealth Management, and Encompass. We are also thankful to our achiever sponsors, Phoenix Truck and Crane, Westwood Honda, Pacific Coast Terminals, Dwell Property, The Bookies, Port Moody Firefighters Charitable Society, Port Moody City Councilor Zoe Royer, and Tego McDonald's. Believer sponsors include Port Coquitlam Firefighters, Reliable Tube, Quality Pole, and our Dreamer sponsors, Moorguard at Coquitlam Center, Port Coquitlam City Councilor Dean Washington, Team Leo of REMAX. We'd also like to thank the donors to the Coquitlam Foundation Seroptimus Tri-Cities Fund. Donors to our fund through the foundation help support our awards programs, and these donors get a tax receipt. Lastly, we would like to thank our local media sponsor, the Tri-City News. We also appreciate your ongoing support. All right, now I am... initiative on that. You don't need a clapping thing to tell me when to clap. Now I have Julie Nisley coming up to the stage to say a few things. Come on up.
Thank you, Sadie. Oh my God, it's so nice to see everybody out and about. That's just crazy. 2 years since we've done this. Well, I'm Julie Nisley, for those that don't know me, and I've been the Seroptimist of the Tri-Cities for 10 years. It's hard to believe I joined 10 years ago. And it's pretty amazing to be a member of this organization. We have so many community projects that we do, but I just wanted to highlight 2 of them that are near and dear to my heart, because one of them I'm the chair of and one I'm a co-chair of. So I'm just a little bit busy in the organization, but 2 of them are Warm Place for Women, and the other one is Bee's Closet. So Warm Place for Women is a social evening that we hold in the community for women and children. So we actually have a dinner that we do the first Thursday of every month, and we used to have 100 people join us, and then COVID hit us, and we had to stop. We had to pivot and start doing other things in the community rather than doing that dinner. But I want to share with you a little bit about what we did when COVID hit. We decided to deliver dinner to them. So we actually delivered groceries to 78 people per week to feed these families, which meant we fed over 3,500 hungry people in the community in the last 2 years. So also, what we did is we delivered Christmas to 11 families last year. So what delivering Christmas means is we actually delivered Christmas dinner, everything that they could do to make their own Christmas dinner. Also gifts for every family member, and filled stockings by Pacific Coast Terminals. And think about how that felt when we got to deliver those Christmas dinners. So we just wanted to share with you that we're back in person and we're holding our dinners again. And it's so nice to see each one of these women and their kids sitting at the table, eating, laughing, enjoying each other's company. So what we do in the community, what you, our sponsors, and what this event is about tonight helps us with that. And the next one is Bee's Closet. And I'm a co-chair with Darlene. No, where's Darlene sitting? Oh, Darlene's right there. So Bee's Closet is a free store. And we actually pay for storage at Maple Leaf Storage. And we have 2 lockers there where we collect donations from the community, and we get money from sponsors, and we allow women that are could be girls that are moving out of foster care, or it could be women leaving abusive situations and they're getting back on their feet, or it could be women that are moving out of a recovery center and now are clean and are moving into their homes. So they get to come to Bee's Closet and they get to shop for free for household items, everything they need except for furniture. They get towels, they get sheets, they get pots and pans, they get dishes, they can have everything that you could possibly think, and that really adds up to someone who's moving into a new area or a new house. So I just wanted to share with you, we did, Darlene's looking at me, she was going to cry. So we did pivot Bee's Closet, and we helped 292 women and their families last year. Think about that, 292 families. And we didn't let them in the closet. We actually did curbside. So we would send them a list, and they would take the list and they would check off what they needed, and we would fill up the boxes. It takes a lot of volunteers to do that. But Darlene and I met with one woman last week, because now we're living back in the closet, and this is what this woman said to us. First of all, we met her, and she was a woman who was fleeing domestic violence, and she was hospitalized for 2 months due to her injuries from her husband. Once she was able to get her children to a safe place. So with her injuries, she got her children to a safe place and then was hospitalized for 2 months to recover from her injuries. And this is what she wrote to us. To all who made time, contributions, and thought into making possible a life for my 2 kids and myself. We came here with nothing, and we left with hope. I have never met women with such warm, loving spirits and generous beyond expression. You have changed my kids' lives and my own. I haven't had such kind words shown to me in so long, and your generosity is so admirable and important for women leaving abusive situations who face unexpected adversity. I promise to pay it all forward, and I just want you to know the gratitude in my heart. Thank you, thank you. So just by that, people, we are changing lives. We are changing lives in this room tonight. So if you'd like to help someone coming through B's Closet to get started, there's a basket on display right here. And you can use your QR code to buy one of those baskets. And it's filled with some of the items that we give to our guests that come through the closet. Also, for Warm Place, $50 will feed an entire family at one of our events. And there's information next to the baskets as well for that. So now, before we give out our awards, you all have a break to shop and mingle, have some sweets, another glass of wine. We're not able to sell the wine, oh, imagine that. But there is a donation jar over there as well. So we're going to take about 20 minutes and let you guys look at what we have over there at our silent auction, grab something to drink, and we will be back with the awards. I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight.
Now, before we get started with our awards program, I would like to give a shout out to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, are you here? Give us a wave. Jocelyn. Hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn has been our contact for the venue tonight, but more importantly, Jocelyn was a recipient of one of our awards in 2006 when she was in the Teen Parent Program. Jocelyn shared with us that the recognition boosted her confidence to make her push for more. And it also helped her to pursue higher education, which ultimately led her to work for the city. And for 13 years you've been working for the city and counting. That's amazing. Her son has now graduated, and he's following in his mother's footsteps to further his education after seeing all of the hard work and dedication that Jocelyn put in. So I think that's so cool. Shout out to Jocelyn. Thank you. You can see how these awards make a difference in people's lives. The mission of every Seroptimist International Club is to improve the lives of women and girls through programs that lead to social and economic empowerment. Each year, the Tri-Cities Club honors some amazing women and girls with 5 different awards. Today, we will be giving out approximately $18,000 in grants and scholarships. We are privileged to have representatives from the Port Moody, Port Coquitlam Fire Departments who will be escorting our award winners to the stage. Presenting the awards will be Awards Committee Co-Chair Nancy McCurra. Now we are going to begin with the B. Kelly Volunteer Award. The B. Kelly Volunteer Award is unique to Seroptimist International of the Tri-Cities, and it is named for the club's charter president, who is still an active member at the ripe old age of 90. And B is here tonight, aren't you? The recipients of the B. Kelly Award are high school seniors who have demonstrated leadership and excelled in volunteer work in their community. The 5 chosen applicants will each be receiving $1,000 to help offset some of the costs of their post-secondary education. I would like to ask Seroptimus Western Canada Region Governor-elect Shari Grant to tell us a little bit more about the winners tonight.
Thanks so much, Sadie. These first 4 young women are unable to attend our ceremony today. 3 of them have their own grad ceremonies tonight, and one of them unfortunately has become ill, I think maybe with COVID, so she's not able to be here. But we still want to tell you a bit about the ones who couldn't come. So the first recipient is Yang Pan. And Yang is a student at Pine Tree Secondary School who will be attending UBC to study biomedical engineering. She volunteers at UNICEF, the SPCA, and School District 43 Student Council. She also tutors mathematics through the Youth Initiative Vancouver online tutoring program and is a member of the STEM to Go online YouTube executive team. And Rasi Kachakadugi is a student at Charles Best Secondary who will be attending UBC Law. She is a member of School District 43's Real Acts of Caring and a volunteer with Wildlife Rescue Association of BC. She is also a steering committee member of her school's SUPER team, which stands for Single-Use Plastic Elimination Reinforcement Team. Rachel Leegi Varghese is a student at Dr. Charles Best Secondary who plans to attend UBC to study environmental science. She is the secretary of the Surrey Youth Association and founded EFL, English for Learners umbrella. She is also a founding member of Girl Up Tri-Cities. So those are 3 of the people who aren't going to be here, and the 4th one who just told us tonight is Caitlyn Shan. And Caitlyn is from École Riverside Secondary. Caitlyn will be attending UBC to study biochemistry, which she hopes will lead to a career in health sciences. Caitlyn volunteers with the Coquitlam Youth Council and Backpack Buddies, where she helps create bundles of nutritious food for food insecure children. Currently, she also is working on delivering toiletry packages to vulnerable citizens. And finally, we do have one of our Big Kelly Award recipients here this evening, and that is Iman Kasam. Iman is a student at Heritage Woods Secondary School who will be attending UBC to study integrated sciences with a goal of eventually attending medical school. She is a reading mentor at the Coquitlam Public Library, as well as a volunteer with the Tri-City Transition Society and the local food bank. Iman's award has been generously sponsored by the Port Moody firefighters. So Iman's going to come up here and get her award.
Thank you. Congratulations. The next award is the Spread Your Wings Award. It is presented to a newcomer who has come to Canada as a refugee in the last 5 years, who is enrolled in post-secondary education. And the award winner tonight will be receiving $1,000 to help offset some of the costs of their post-secondary education. Seroptimist Nancy Makura established this award. Nancy is one of our hard-working Seroptimists who is being honored internationally for her work with Syrian refugee families. Nargis fled her home country of Afghanistan, and after first living in the US for a year, she moved to Canada in 2017. Nargis is attending Langara College, where she is studying business management. She wants to own her own restaurant and serve delicious Afghan food and showcase her culture to Canadian people. Nancy is going to read a message that Nargis has passed along to us tonight.
Thank you, Sadie. This is what Nargis has to say. When I was 17 years old, when I left my country, Afghanistan, I was faced with many challenges in life. It was very hard to travel at such a young age without parents. My mom is uneducated, but she loves learning. Previously, Afghanistan was a country where women were not allowed to learn and work outside of the home. I promised to my mom I would achieve my goals and she would be proud of me. I studied up to grade 10 in high school, as it was the highest grade at school in my town. I was working as a volunteer in the library because I love reading. Otherwise, one pays for the library, 50 Afghan each month. This was very expensive for my family because in my house, only my dad was working and he paid for everything. For rent, bills, for food, and my school, and for my siblings, and it was too much for my dad. I was working volunteer to not pay for library. Also, I was working for the Red Flower Organization. We are around 50 members on the Red Flower Organization, and we work together, boys and girls. We celebrated different events like Mother's Day, Teacher's Day, Children's Day, and different days. When I got a scholarship to the United States, my mom was so happy for me because I chose to achieve my goals. She supported me to come to the United States. I was in the United States for 1 year, then I decided to live in Canada because I had heard many good things about Canada. I started my new journey in 2017. Coming to Canada is one of my biggest experiences because I was faced with many kind people who were supporting me a lot. I wish he was here. So thank you for coming forward and just trying to do your best in another country. I'm sure it isn't easy. The language barriers and what you bring from your home country, it'll always be with you. So thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Our next award winner is for the Ruby Award. This award recognizes women in our community who are making an extraordinary difference in the lives of other women and girls, either locally or internationally, through efforts in either their volunteer, personal, or professional life. Shari, over to you to present this award.
Thanks, Sadie. I'm very pleased to present the 2022 Ruby Award to Heather Ann Hooten. Heather is the founder of one of the administrators of a Facebook group called the Tri-City Moms Groups. Heather and her husband Mike and their daughters Riley and Sophie live in Coquitlam. Heather has been an employee of the Vancouver School Board for 22 years as an education assistant and works part-time for Stenberg College as a mentor for students taking the EA program. After their first daughter was born, Heather was diagnosed with postpartum depression, but she knew the importance of making sure that Riley went to play dates and had opportunities for social interaction. The Tri-Cities Moms Group, TCMG, was created by Heather in November of 2009. It started with a coffee meetup in Port Moody with 12 moms and their babies. TCMG prides itself on community, connection, and supporting each other so that no one feels alone on the journey of motherhood. Weekly food hampers are created and delivered from Heather's home, along with hundreds of Christmas hampers and Easter baskets for families in need. Food drives, fundraisers, and diaper and formula collections are organized year-round by Heather and the TCMG volunteer team. The online Facebook group, which now has close to 12,000 members, is run by Heather and an amazing group of volunteer moms. Congratulations, Heather.
All right. Next up, we have It's presented to a woman in financial need who is enrolled in post-secondary education, who is supporting herself and has no dependents. This award is the creation of Seroptimist International of the Tri-Cities. It's our award, based on the demonstrated need in our community. The 2022 winner of the Give Her Wings Award is Samira Rafui. Her educational goal is to attend a 4-year bachelor's degree from Douglas College, specializing in psychology. Samira's ultimate goal is to have a career in mental health, in addiction and detoxes, or working in a group home. She is a member of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, and this is what she had to say. I have overcome many obstacles and continue to persevere, one day at a time. I'm grateful to say that today I am 4 years clean from opioids and am standing proud on my 2 feet. I struggled with addiction for many years, hanging out with the wrong crowds, going in and out of treatment centers, detoxes, and breaking every promise, not only to my loved ones, but to myself. The road to recovery wasn't easy, and relapse is definitely a part of my story. But today I am proud of what I see in the mirror. Today I am able to be a role model for other young women in recovery, and I do my best to sponsor women in the fellowship when I am able to. I grew up a single parent. No, I grew up in a single parent home. My mom being the sole provider. And she was always doing everything she could to give me what I needed. At times, she would work up to 3 jobs simultaneously to put food on the table. That same hard work, dedication, and determination have also been instilled in me. I've struggled with anxiety and depression since adolescence. And I find that at the moment, I'm juggling both school and work in order to stay afloat. And at times it can be overwhelming, and it definitely contributes to my anxiety. Keeping busy definitely helps control my thoughts and channel my energy into something positive. Congratulations, Samira, on this award. We're so happy to help you on your journey. All right. I'm really excited to introduce last year's first place Live Your Dream Award winner, Jessa Turner, who will give us a little update on what the award has meant to her over the past year. Jessa?
I was expecting to go last, but I was last year's, but I was asked to come and speak about what education has done for my life, so I've written a little bit to share that with you. Education was the last thing on my mind throughout my life, though I had dreams from the age of 15 to work in the mental health field. The dream alone was life-changing for me. By age 13, I was a repeat patient in the psych system for many years into my 20s after experiencing childhood trauma and then losing a sister to suicide. I struggled with major depression, crippling anxiety, self-harm, and suicidal ideation for many years. Having been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizoaffective disorder at different times along the way, along with being heavily medicated for many years, I was basically just a case in the system that nobody had hoped for. The turning point was when I was correctly diagnosed at age 31 with complex trauma, and as my mind cleared from all the medications, hopes of getting my grade 12 before my kids started to come to surface. In 2018, I managed to complete my grade 12 graduation with honors 2 weeks before my oldest son. And he had a ceremony the night before me though. Education has allowed me to feel huge successes and realize that I am capable. The evening I walked across the stage at age 40 to receive my grade 12 diploma, I gave my first ever speech. I remember finishing my speech and turning to go to sit down, but being motioned to turn back to the packed theater. People were on their feet clapping for me. It was something I never in a million years expected, but was a huge turning point as I realized they were seeing me as a real person with hopes and dreams. A far cry from the person who was once told she would be permanently institutionalized by the age of 40. In early 2020, I started a community mental health worker program at Douglas College. In 2021, I was the winner of the Live Your Dream Award through the Soroptimist, and both these things were life-changing because being a college student was so far out of my realm for pretty much my whole life, but there I was. And I had never won anything until the Live Your Dream Scholarship. Talk about being honored, and thank you again, Soroptimist and Town Line Homes, who sponsored my scholarship and made a difference not only for me, but for my kids as well. The seed of hope that kept me alive for years was now, thanks to education, like a mustard seed, growing and turning my dreams into plans, shining a light onto what once was a very dark journey. I finished the program with honor roll and was hired right after my practicum at Riverview, a position I so love. Education has given me opportunity. My education has helped me move mountains inside me by giving me experiences and connections I wouldn't otherwise have had. It has given me life. It has given me a life. 6 months after my Douglas College program ended and I was working, I shocked some of those around me by starting at another college because I knew pretty quick that I wanted to go further with my education. My dream at 15 was to be a psych nurse or a clinical counselor. I'm now chasing my master's in counseling by starting with a 2-year condensed professional counseling program, and I intend on practicing with my diploma when I'm done while continuing on for my master's to get my clinical counseling designation. Currently sitting as one of the top students in my cohort and venturing into neuroscience for the next month, I truly feel I'm living my dream. Education has allowed for the true me to shine out. It was always there, but was buried and muffled beneath life's heaviness and pain. It has proven to me that dreams can be forgotten about, silenced, and ignored, but they can never be taken away from you. Thank you for listening.
It's come to my attention that I forgot somebody is here tonight, and I saw them in the audience. So, Coquitlam City Councilor Brent Asmundsson, I'm sorry. Stutter over the word, but that's me, not you. Anyways, I'd also like to take this moment to acknowledge our 4 awards judges who have done such an amazing job and spent so many hours agonizing over the applications. We would like to call them up onto stage to be recognized. Tracy Price of the Tracy Price Wealth Management. Come on up. Come on up. Laura Kavina from Phoenix Truck and Crane. And Jennifer McKinnon, Executive Director, Port Coquitlam Business Improvement Association. and Melanie Briggs of Townline. Let's get another round of applause for our judges. Thank you. Our final award of the night, the Live Your Dream Award. This award goes to a woman who is the financial head of a household and who was returned to school to better support her family. It is a Soroptimist International of the Americas signature program, and since the program began in 1972, over 25 million has been given out to thousands of women. The Tri-Cities Club alone has given out more than $100,000 for this program. Every year, yeah! Every year, the awards panel is blown away by the courage and the resilience of every one of the deserving candidates who apply for the Live Your Dream Awards. All of the winners are overcoming many obstacles to return to school and build a better life for themselves and for their children, or some of their other dependents. We are privileged this evening to have our 3 recipients here with us. And I am pleased to welcome back Governor-elect Shari Grant to present the first Live Your Dream Award. Shari.
Thanks, Sadie. I'm pleased to present the 3rd place Live Your Dream Award, which has been generously sponsored by Tracy Price. The award goes to Mariam Osadi. Mariam came to Canada as a refugee. She is a single mother of a 9-year-old son, and she is coping with physical disabilities. She is currently a part-time student nearing completion of a certificate at BCIT in applied computer applications. BCIT doesn't have applied community studies, so she plans to continue in her studies at Coquitlam Douglas College to be able to stay closer to home, where she will study towards a bachelor's degree in social work. She's been a volunteer for the Immigrant Services Society of BC since June 2013, where she mentors newcomers to get settled, helping them fill out their office paperwork and applications and introducing them to local resources. She's been a volunteer at Birchland Elementary School since 2018, where she helps with the school breakfast club. She wants to have a career as a social worker and be financially independent to have a better life for her son. She had a hard childhood and was married at an early age. She never had a chance to go to university, and going to school and getting her high school diploma even was a huge challenge. She says, "I have always been a fighter just to survive. Now is the time to build my career and also use my strength and experiences to help other people now that struggle and feel hopeless. I can be a live testimony of not giving up on yourself and your dreams." Congratulations, Mariam. Please join us on stage to receive the award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mariam Osadi, and I'm coming from Herron. I'm a single mom, mother of 2 beautiful boys, 23 and 10 years old. I wished my older son could make it and come here tonight with me, but because of his hours, he couldn't make it. Thank you, my beautiful friend, make it and came here tonight with me. My special thanks for a Soroptimist organization. They make a big difference in the community. And I don't have too much to say, already they said, but I hope my life journey inspiring many of women, especially single moms, especially refugees and newcomers with the struggle and language barrier, they see me and say, if she could, we can make it as well. Thank you.
I'm just going to say one thing before she leaves the stage. Miriam, how many languages do you speak? How many languages?
5.
All right. Our second place Live Your Dream Awards, I will refer to as RN. There is no consent for social media on this, so if you're filming, please stop.
So I'm going to tell you about the last award winner of the night, the first place Live Your Dream winner. Her award has been generously sponsored by our marquee sponsor, Townline. And we are going to invite Chris Colbeck of Townline to come up and say a few words before we present the award. If you'd like to come up.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Colbeck with Townline Homes and TL Housing Solutions, and thank you very much for having us here again tonight. As mentioned, it's our 5th year sponsoring the amazing Soroptimist organization and the Give Her Wings event. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years, I've really missed attending these things in person, as we all have. But are so honored to be here again, supporting the fantastic work that the Soroptimist does, and ultimately the deserving and inspiring women that they help and mentor. I also want to thank the award recipients for sharing their stories with us tonight. I know they're personal, and I really appreciate hearing the stories. And Jessa, I also want to say, just hearing your story and recognizing the difference that can be made makes everything worthwhile. And thank you very much for sharing your story with us tonight as well. Thank you. The strong women that Soroptimists work with are the true motivators and future leaders, and really show us all that anything is possible with hard work and dedication. I just want to say thank you again for having us here tonight, and we look forward to many more years with supporting the Soroptimist group. So thank you.
Thanks again, Chris. We are so appreciative of everything Townline has done for our club and the community. The first place Live Your Dream Award winner is Lindsay Ann Baker. Lindsay is a single mother with a 4-year-old daughter whose educational goal is to obtain her bachelor's degree in social work from Thompson River University. Her career goal is to continue helping women and children struggling with the hardship in life as she understands addiction and mental illness and the stigma attached to it. Currently, she's been accepted into the social service worker program doing online learning. She needs to complete 7 more courses. She has also applied for a Bachelor of General Studies. This will allow her to transfer her social service worker courses in police and justice studies and continue in her pursuit of obtaining a Bachelor of Arts in social work. Lindsay is very determined and resilient. She is a graduate of the Talitha Coombe Addiction Recovery 12-Step Program, a supportive recovery house where she spent 7 months. She's been successfully reunited with her child, who was temporarily in care after Lindsay was involved in a very abusive relationship. Lindsay has shown great strength and support for other women battling with addiction, as she currently works as a support worker for Talitha Coombe's Addiction Recovery. She's a great resource inspiration for most of the moms who have lost their children to the Ministry of Children and Family Development through addiction and abuse. This is what she has to say. I've had many hardships in the past many years, including a left arm crush injury from a transit bus, severe PTSD, depression, anxiety, fleeing an abusive relationship with an infant, leaving my housing and belongings, and battling to be a good mom so my daughter had one parent in her life, as her father has been incarcerated since she was 8 months old. I've lost my way, but I've spent the past year rebuilding a healthy, happy, and spiritually filled life for myself and my daughter. I'm a current graduate from Talitha Coombe, a spiritual recovery home for women and children. I get nervous asking for help. However, I realize I can't do this alone. I must put my best foot forward and pray that I'm deserving of support to achieve my goals. Lindsay, we are immensely proud of you, and we are so pleased that in addition to the $5,000 you received from Sir Optimus of the Tri-Cities, you also received $5,000 in US dollars as the first place winner of the Western Canada Region Live Your Dream Award. Please come up to the stage to receive your award and say a few words.
Everybody. I definitely don't like public speaking. However, I just want to thank everybody who made it possible for me to not only win one, but 2 awards. And I look forward to my future and all the schooling that I'm going to have. So I just want to say thank you very much. So we're getting ready to say goodnight, but before we go, we would like to present Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, with a small token of our appreciation.
Thank you, everyone. It's been an absolute delight to be here, and I'm even more entranced by your work now that I've spent your time. So thank you all so much for your support. And I look forward to seeing you next year if you invite me back.
Okay, and then before we go, we would like to invite our Give Her Wings Award event chair, Cindy Paddington, to the stage. And we'd also like to invite the awards chairs, Nancy and Nav, up to the stage. And I'm also would like to have our MC come over here. Come over here. And if we could also get our lovely auction chair, Brenda, up to the stage.
Thank you so much, everybody. What an evening. We're so proud of everyone who has won an award. Thank you, Shori, for being an amazing partner in crime, and Nancy for giving out the awards. Thank you to all the dignitaries and the counselors who have come tonight. all our sponsors. Thank you, everybody. Everybody, thank you. We couldn't do it without you.